Morning. It's a beautiful morning. This morning, Monday, the 27th of July, 2026. Time check it is 6 minutes past 9. Oh, I forgot. At least when I speak, the world listens. Good morning, Olufumije. Good morning, Olubukola. How are you this beautiful morning? How was your weekend?
Yes, my weekend was good, great, great, great. So when Lima speaks, the world listens. So when BSA
Listens.
speaks, the whole world
Yes.
they listen. They
Yes.
don't get choice.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Fumi, how are you as well? And to our lovely, lovely, lovely family on the other side, like I always say, we are always in your presence. As long as you tune to us, we are together in the same space. All our Lens family, good morning, good start of the week. Yes, I know the week is rounding, the month is rounding this week, right? And we're moving into August. But I want to believe that God has been faithful and
He
we
has.
are hopeful. We are hopeful for better things to come once you do not go under to say, God has not been faithful. Look at those beautiful things. You know that song that says, count your blessings, name them one by one. I think I had it yesterday and it just occurred to me. I said, it's true. Let me count all my blessings. Don't let me begin to look at the things that I wanted to achieve and have not been. But the ones that I can count, even the ones that I never thought, of, but it happened. God is good. So once again, I want to say good morning, everybody. Thank you.
It is good to have you here, Buki. I'm good as well. Today is bright, well, bright and early. Yeah, let's just get into it this morning. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. The phone lines will be open shortly, but in the meantime, you can send your text messages to 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. Nima, over to you.
Hey, for me, when I saw this reel, it was doing me like
Gush, gush.
in my ear. Did I hear well? I wanted to be
You
sure
did.
I was hearing the right thing.
You did.
After some time, I just dropped the phone. I said, okay, yes, I've had enough of this. This singer, K1 The Ultimate. For those who might not know his name, he's the one who sang Adeori King. Yes.
Yeah, they are king.
I
Now,
wonder.
for some of us who don't remember, last year he was apprehended. He caused a ruckus on the airplane last year. So
Yes.
this is the next. This is the next. I think this is the second time we're talking about him in maybe a year. The last time we did talk about him was after the whole airline situation, and then he became ambassador for the airline. Da, 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 da. But yes, go ahead, Nima.
So he was, I'm going to translate. He was singing live that, what was his exact word? So, when you, unwanted pregnancy, I don't know how to
Yeah,
translate literally.
go ahead.
Unwanted pregnancy is the girl's headache that she went to Bluetooth, then went to TikTok, then went to, I think he said Google. He was, and I'm like, shoo, doesn't it take two to tango anymore? When did it become one person's responsibility? When did it become one person's fault? When did it become one person's wahala? And that's whole video reeked of disrespect to me because I'm like, you can't disrespect females this way. Yeah, we say no. Okay, I guess the Bible also says it. Say no to fornication. Say no to adultery.
Yeah,
To have children outside
yeah.
marriage. Yes, we are all for that. But at the same time, it amazes me when people speak like the girl did this, the girl did that. Weren't they two? Was it only one person? And he and his band, they were even giving Ilu. For me, what's Ilu? Okay, yeah, beats.
Beats. Yeah.
So you see, what then do more Lara? They were so happy. Anyway, Buki, what say you about this video? Did you get to watch it?
No, I
Before
did. Okay, no,
There
Fumi,
were
go
quite a few
ahead. Go ahead,
videos.
please.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying that there were quite a few videos and quite a few comments he had made. If you recall, was it last year or early this year? There's a particular Yoruba actress who has allegedly has a child for him, and he hadn't accepted the child. And then they were at a party, and I think they hugged or something like that, and people were like, oh, so excited that they hugged. And I was like, him hugging, the son too was there, I think. I said, if him hugging doesn't mean anything, so I didn't even know this was even going to happen. But yeah, Buki, I wanted to also give extra context to it, but go ahead, Buki.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's when you what is his name now? There's another name they call him, One, but there's
Yeah.
another name they actually call him. Whatever his name is, the Fuji legend,
Mhm.
K1D,
The ultimate,
K1D,
the ultimate.
K1D, Ultimate.
Yeah, yeah,
When I watched it and I listened to the lyrics,
yeah.
as a Yoruba person, and I saw the body language, I saw the what he's trying to portray with his band. I mean, for me, it was like every girl that probably wants to move around him, or any girl that he wants to approach, they should actually turn him down, because it was degrading as far as I'm concerned as a lady. What he said, Oyukoyun is Sarah.
Mm.
That,
Yes.
I mean, unwanted pregnancy. I mean, you have described it as Oyukoyun, that it's it's a waste. You know, you for you, even as a woman, well, it's Sarah for you. It's gift, it's your responsibility. It's a waste for you. You can't be counted. When you say something is Sarah means, well, it's just there. You are giving it out. You are giving it out. Sarah, you give out, you give out, give out, give out. It's free. You understand? So it's your prerogative. That's your business. Don't come and load me, with that responsibility, because you should have taken responsibility. That is what I got from all of this. And the way they went about it, it was like gist, it was funny for them. But this is it. Let's talk to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk to ourselves. Even after we have talked, some women, some girls, they will still fall into line.
Yeah.
Men see, don't let me, I won't categorize all men. Some men, and you will know by their viewpoint. I might go a bit value oriented today, but
Okay.
we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with religion. It's values.
Right.
Yes, I know we are deeply seated, in religion, right? And I can talk about the two main religion that we have, Christianity and Muslim. And there was a time, I'm going to digress a little bit. There was a time that we're having um uh we were having a program. I belong to an NGO, and there was a program we're doing, celebration of purity.
Okay.
And we went on a radio program. That was about 5 or 6 years ago. I can't remember. I was the one, because it was Yoruba. I had to go and speak Yoruba and all that. And we invited people, to come for the program. Do you know that when I got to that program, I was shocked that maybe 60 people, 60% of the people there were Muslims. They came in their hijab.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
had to ask, I said, are you saying that Muslims cherish purity?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they said yes, they cherish chastity. And I said, wow, yes, we have Christians there. And of course, we talk about it in the Bible. Fornication is a sin. If you are not married, you don't have any business with it. Take it or leave it from me. You don't have any business with it, because the way God created it is designed for people who want to subject themselves, into the marriage institution.
Yeah.
But now we have now coined it into fun. We have coined it into things that, oh, I want to lick ice cream. I want to eat a burger. You just go for it. But it comes at a cost. You cannot go into a restaurant to say, ice cream, Sarani. Who gives ice cream for Sarah? But we ladies have subjected ourselves that they are now mocking us. And that is why a man can say, I'm going to sleep with you. And it's your responsibility when you come to say, I'm pregnant. The next thing is that you are careless. They'll not say you're stupid. They'll not say you are irresponsible for something that you did together. If you cannot take the heat in the
Stay at the
kitchen, then why are
kitchen.
you there? Why are you there? Every man that is listening to me today, as long as you want to sleep with a girl or with a woman, you should take responsibility. If
Absolutely.
you want to have fun and you don't want to take responsibility, you are irresponsible. And for the women, because I'm coming after the women today, if you enter such acts, then take responsibility for whoever you are going to sleep with. You should know, because you are giving a value out, your own value, you are giving it to somebody. Let's look at it that, can you see a pig going on the street, and you bring out your gold. You bring out your gold and you say, pig, just take this gold and just do whatever you want with it. The pig does not value the gold, but he will snap at it, throw it into the mud, do whatever it is, because he does not value it. Because you caused it in the first instance. You take responsibility. You brought your own value. You're something that you're supposed to treasure under the guise that you're having fun. What fun is that? And at the end of the day, go look at the statistics. At the end of the day, you now become a public toilet. You move from one place to another place to another place. So let's talk about values today. I'm saying that what you have is your treasure. You don't have to give it to anybody. You give it to your husband. Even those who give it to their husbands, even in matrimonial, we know that at times the men do not even appreciate it. But you just do what you are supposed to do. Keep it. Zip up. And enter into the marriage institution, so that whatever comes in there, even if the man does not want it, because we know some men that are married, though, they don't take responsibility, but at least you have done the needful. Look at how he was just making mockery and jest. Oyukoyu Saharani. And the whole band were just mocking ladies. And you will still see a woman today.
Oh, yeah.
That was still for that.
Yeah, they actually said that his manager, I read one of the articles that said his manager said that quite a few, like, you, every time he has maybe a gig or he's performing somewhere, there's a long line of women who are ready
waiting to throw themselves at
yes.
him.
Yes.
Where is dignity?
So how do we now cut this? Apart from what we are saying here, we women, how are we also raising our children? That's the question. How are we also raising our children that they will line up for a man? For what? For money. I know someone, I will not mention his name. He's a content creator. He gives ladies 50K and above to sleep, and ladies fall in line.
We have a call. Good morning.
Yeah.
What's your name and where are you calling from? I'm so sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Try to call back. Thank you.
You know, bottom line for me, I want to wrap up now. Bottom line for me is I want to talk to our own gender. Because a man as a man, that is, he can ask you, can request for anything. It is for you to say, no, this is my stand. These are my values. But even for you to say these are my values, that means you need to know your own values. And values do not just come from the top of the tree. It starts from the family. And that's why I always go down to the family. How are we raising our children? Such that when they are ready to stand at the age of 18, accountability, they already know how to think critically. They already know how to make decisions for their lives. If you have done that and a stupid lady because of money, because of fame, whatever it is. The man says, come and sleep with me. And you go ahead and you sleep. Yes, I could talk about unprotected care, but
Oh yeah, you can.
I've told you from the onset that that is not my value. But hey, we talk about it, and you decided to have pregnancy. Then you are now saying, okay, man, and the man is saying, no, I'm not responsible. I don't want to take care of this. We see it even on Nollywood and all that. And that should give women sense. You can live without it. That's the truth. You can live without it. Right. But because of the propaganda, because of the things that we are doing, once you enter into the relationship, even the very first day you date, the next thing is you are jumping on somebody's bed. Where are your values, for goodness sake? I know somebody will be saying that old school. Don't tell me that. But you sit down and think about it for yourself. All the ones you have been doing, are you proud of yourself? No, tell me, are you proud of yourself? You are only clogging yourself to say, I thought he was going to marry me. But think deep.
Hey,
But think deep. Are you proud of yourself?
listen.
No. Are you? No. Let them look into the mirror and say, all that I have done, am I proud of myself? Is this what I want? Can I tell this to my children that these are the things I did? You find out that a majority of them will say no. So can we begin to shift and let men see us and see value in us? That I can't talk about this with this girl, except I put her into the marriage institution. That is what we should begin to do now. Thank you. I'll stop here.
Thank you so much, Buki. When I saw this story, when I saw this matter, basically, the first thing, oh my gosh, Ibn Abba is here. Good morning, Ibn Abba. How are you? I'm so sorry. I saw what you came in. You came in when Buki was speaking. Good morning, ma'am. How are you? How was your weekend? Hope you're well.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, the ladies of HerLens, Lady Olubukola, Lady Olufumi, and Lady Nima, and good morning to all the ladies and gentlemen out there. It's
Good
great to
morning.
be here.
Let me last again.
Ibn Abba has entered one chance today with you.
Don't worry, she will reset.
Don't worry, don't worry.
You can't hear me. Can you hear me?
We can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can.
Yes. Nima was saying you called her name last again.
Oh, my Nima, my Lady Nima. This morning.
Oh boy.
We always
Nima,
save the last, so you know that we always save the best for the last. Don't worry.
oh,
You know.
I'm feeling myself.
you should.
Good morning. So do I go ahead?
Before you go,
Or
we are live on YouTube again. This is HerLens on Women Radio 91.7. The phone lines are open 07000 917 0800 Lastly, 09155 Our text message or WhatsApp message 0703 or 08155 The time right about now is 24 minutes past 9. And while with the ladies of HerLens, Buki FA is here, Ibn Abo is here, Nima is here, and myself, for me, I am here. And we've been discussing this Kwamwon's, is this statement? I don't even know what to call it, whereby he said, look, if you carry Bella, it's your responsibility. And like I always say, look, the consequences of whatever you do, whether you're married or single, lays with you primarily as the woman. I don't think I've ever heard Buki get so feisty. I think this one got under it got under her skin today. But yes,
I
we'll
want to
take
pick two things from what Buki said.
before
She
even have
mentioned how our parents raising their children. As a
yeah.
young person, and I just left the university, so I mingled with a lot of young people. I wouldn't say maybe only the parents, because yeah, we talked about it last week where Toke, how is her name pronounced? Is it Toke or Toke? Said
Okay,
that
Mama.
Toke,
it's okay.
yes, Toke, thank you. Where she said that people don't have any business getting married in their early 20s. So I'm going to say that most times you see children raised right, but when they come outside, they decide, oh, I'm old enough to make decisions. So they start making their decisions, spiraling down the wrong road, even when they were raised right. It's not always the parents. Sometimes it's peer
Very true.
influence.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's peer influence. Sometimes it's just that we don't want to have sense. Because this my generation, we are a lot.
Okudiekato.
Even when we have sense, we want to manage it so that better it will not finish on time. Not always the parents. Then I always tell people that no matter how you try to make it look glamorous or exciting, illegitimate children will always be legitimate children. And that's what comes out of having fun in quotes without getting married. You see people say, it doesn't matter, they have money. So most often than never, you see that these same children go down the line that their parents went. And this whole thing is a societal problem.
Yeah.
It contributes to the demoralization of our society.
And the decay.
At large. Yes,
Yeah.
and decay. What Kay once said, I read the comments under the particular video that I watched. Girls were like, okay, it's time to call back our dignity. It's time to stop selling yourself short.
Yeah.
Most times it's not even for the fame or the money. It's for bragging rights. Girls are very weird. You hear them say, okay, I did this person, I did that person. They are not posting it. But you hear them say it to their friends like it's something to be joyous about. And once again, it is still our society getting decayed. Anyway, over to you, Binabo.
Thank you for that, because you actually took it out of my mouth. I've always said it, and I will not stop saying it because it's something I've seen over the years. That I tell people, I say, if you raise your children right and they turn out good, turn out well, don't go and brag.
So,
Just somewhere and thank God that the seed you planted, oh, you're rere. And I always tell parents as well that when a child turns out good, don't take all the glory.
Yeah.
Call your child. Thank you for being a good ground to sow the seeds of great values. Because there are so many children out there who were properly raised and then they chose another tour, another route, another road. And what do? You can't kill yourself. And then nobody should begin to blame you that you did not raise them right. I know so many children who were properly raised. Even some of the people I knew when I was much younger, and I see what they have become. Some of them have turned a new leaf because they'll tell you, I really broke my parents' heart, but thank goodness I've found my way again back to doing right by myself and by everybody. Having said that, let's go back to Oga Kwamwan. You see, there are people who do not hide their identity, their character, and all. But then we would always choose to become prey to such persons. What am I saying? We don't need to live with Kwamwan. I mean, his sense of Yanga is very pop. You can see it. Even with sophisticated ladies. I remember when whether she's an actress, I can't remember her name now.
Yeah, I think it was Bosse. Is it Bosse Alao? Was it Bosse? One of them, the Yoruba actress, yeah.
Quality of her son, and all the celebrities, they were congratulating her.
Yeah,
I think she won it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? This is the mindset with which people are living. They believe that a celebrity is a god, and whatever you have with that person, you are special. Like Nima said, some young girls will fall over themselves for bragging rights that me and this person, we had it nice. You understand?
Yeah.
One song, and I'll try to sing it. He said, I'll just pick a few lines from. He said, "Ẹ̀yin ọmọdé ẹ yé ṣe erékeré, erékeré ló ń doyún kóyún, oyún kóyún ló ń dọmọkọ́mọ, ọmọkọ́mọ ló nílé lára." young people, stop playing nasty games. You know the game I'm talking about. Because such nasty games will end in pregnancy. And unwanted pregnancy will eventually become an unwanted child. And an unwanted child is going to that will destroy or wreck the family as a whole. You see, there are people who they have put themselves out there for you to see, for you to know. So when you now choose to become their victims, unfortunately, sadly so, it's your prerogative. But the case of this woman is a case of, you being close to a person, and she, from a story I read, she was his pedicurist or something. And when you attend to a celebrity at home, you give him home service, he's all nice, he's all kind, he pays you extra, and your background is very humble, and you begin to create ideas in your head. So you just smile and hug you. It's like, I'm beginning to look like somebody in his eyes. And then the next thing you see yourself opening your legs and all of that. See, we need to add a level of value to ourselves, irrespective of background, whether your father is a president or your father is a security man in one small company. You are a person of value, especially you, a woman. Place enough value on yourself and stop making yourself an option. Stop making yourself a person of less value. That a man would be all in the name of being a celebrity, or maybe he has some money. He would just use you like you would use a rag, and then someday you want to come up and turn yourself into what? Let us start by adding value to ourselves. Let us start by having a high level of self-worth, self-respect, so that nobody will come and trample on you. You see, it is sad enough that a man of his age still does the same thing that he did over 30, 40 years ago. Then he has no choice. What are he doing over the years? Because sometimes age would add some measure of decorum to your character. Over the years, what you used to do as a younger person, you come to terms with the fact that I shouldn't be doing this. I'm already at a certain age. It's a shame for people to find me still doing this. And you turn a new leaf. But what are the new leaf for you until you turn all these years? Because if that child isn't yours and you are sure, that's not how to address the issue. You went to the public space while you are doing your thing, your business, and you make a complete mockery of a child. You are not denied. You will so that you did not deny paternity. He did not say, Nibo Emi, never. He only talked about the song I sang, Oyu Koyu. Nobody did I ask you to get pregnant. That was saying. He didn't say, I never even met you before. I don't even know you. He said, I did not ask you to get pregnant. Who asked you to get pregnant? Who sent you a message? Which is very, very disheartening, because it is not just this woman that is involved now. A child is involved. Her family is involved. Her mental health, everything about her total being is involved. So you have to be careful of your utterances, because the child is involved. So when you become very careless about the feeling of a child, then it's unfortunate. Look at how Davido and his family, his father, handled the case of that lady from Ibadan.
Yeah.
What about?
Good morning, Mrs. Oboli.
We have a call, Mrs. Good morning, Mrs. Oboli.
We are having issues with network this morning.
Hey, please send us a voice note. What we received calls this morning. Could just be network. You can send a voice note, please, Mrs. Oboli, 0703-1756537 or 08155-917-917. Please go ahead, Ibnabo.
So it baffles me why Kwawon throws his weight around and then people of low self-esteem, because people who do that with him are people of low self-esteem. You see, growing up, we saw a lot of people who wouldn't come to the public space, but hideously, they were
Good
doing
morning,
something.
Mrs. Oboli. Can you hear her for me?
No, can you hear her?
No, I can't.
Please get Michael, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
yes, please.
So we need to add a lot of value onto ourselves. Pride yourself so highly that irrespective of the status of that person, when they come to you as a lady, as a woman, they must be a woman of honor and respect. Irrespective of your pockets, you can be from a very humble background, but your self-worth is intact. Your self-respect is intact. You don't become a piece of a plaything in the hand of a person because he is a celebrity or he holds a very high office. Please, it breaks my heart when a child is involved. Because look at what he has done to that child in the public space. If she was feeling bad that she had been rejected by her father, she's going to even feel worse. Isn't one sensitive to people's feelings? Does he not even think that this girl could even want to do something to herself for the public disgrace he had written out of this girl? Because everything he said is to me, not saying to the woman, he's saying to the girl.
Yeah.
This is right. And this is you contesting to becoming a king. So if you're a king somewhere and somebody brings this kind of case to you, how do you judge it? What do you say to them? How do you even address the little girl that is the result of this one relationship? It would target. It's unfortunate and it is very disheartening. And please, all of these celebrities and whoever you are, even if you haven't met this person before, and this person comes out to say, oh, I'm pregnant and I've given birth to your baby, there are ways to go about it. There is DNA test. There are other ways to go about it. Don't come to the public space and begin to run people rough, and because you think they cannot do anything.
All right.
If the daughter of a known person in Nigeria, any of these money banks, comes out to say that you, a celebrity, impregnates her, would you come out and sing that song? You would never dare that. So these are the ways that the children of the poor are being dragged anyhow. That's why I'm saying that the only thing you lack is money. Don't lack self-worth. The only lack is money. Don't disrespect yourself. No matter how sweet, how flowery their words are to you in the closet, you know that in the open they're going to disgrace you. So add a bit of self-respect to yourself, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibn. I want us to quickly touch on the second headline. This is still
Obina is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Obina. Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just in the about tonight.
Huh?
Just want to thank you for here. Want to thank you for thank you.
Okay, all right. Even though he's thanking you for your submission. All right, thank you. I want us to really get here. The founder of one of the banks, Atedo Peter's side, I think he's from Ibn Abbas' side, said it's sad that no young Nigerian today can start a bank as I did. The system now makes it much harder for young people to succeed. That's why many have turned to the creative industry. It's one of the few spaces the older generation hasn't been able to rig. This morning, I asked Emmanuel a question along the lines of this. I said, how is it that we don't have a lot of young people vying to get into politics or get into governance? That is it that the door has been closed against them? And he had said, look, before you can enter, that unless if your father or your father's father, like basically nepotism at its finest is the only way you'll be able to get into politics. And if you enter as an outsider by mistake, it will be difficult for you to maintain it. And Ateta Side is saying pretty much the same thing here, that no young person in Nigeria, this is even economically now, because is it the person that doesn't have 200,000 naira to as salary? If a young person gets 200k as salary is that is seen as, oh, you're doing well for yourself, even though that's 200,000 naira, kotonko, So, what's the way forward for young people in Nigeria today? Because it seems like the system is rigged against young people. There was a 30-year-old on X that I think just got a house, maybe 2 houses, and was living comfortably. And people were reacting, saying that Shebi is the person that has eaten that can say they want to get a house, want to buy a house. A 30-year-old in Nigeria cannot comfortably say that they can get a house. House is not what they're looking at. They're looking at how can I rent a 1 room? Because at this point where 3 million naira is what you're going to use to rent a mini flat in certain places in Lagos, kilowatt kufuma. All these bank owners started these banks when they were 30-year-olds, late 20s, early 30s. Same with those in governance. All the Tinubus, all the Peter Obis started when they were young. What remains for us like this? Buki, I'm going to start with you as our nation builder.
I might sound from a different perspective.
That's okay.
And everybody hearing me should hear me right. Let's look at Peter Atedo, right? Peter Side Atedo. He's talking of him starting a bank as at that time. I can't remember what the population of Nigeria is, but definitely it was more than 80 million or 100 million as at that time. So he's saying that it could be one of the outliers, outflyers rather.
Outliers, yeah.
Yeah, you understand. So maybe one out of that, right? And it's the same thing as we have today. I checked some statistics because a whole lot of things have changed. Technology has brought a whole lot of new ideas, new engagements. We now have the fintechs, because he's from the banking sector. That yes, in those days, there was nothing like fintech actually. You understand? Traditional bank. So you have to have money, to make the investment, to meet the regulatory requirements, to have the infrastructure. You can imagine. I mean, I worked in the bank for 21 years. So you can imagine the infrastructure that you have, the office, the equipment, and the human personnel, it's a whole lot. So even as at that time, not many people could do that. He and a few others, right? And look at the proportion. Look at what is happening now because of technology, right? That has brought a whole lot of things out. And we have the fintechs. And I did a bit of research. Most of the fintechs people that we talk about today, even the unicorns, they started in their 30s. Some of them actually started in their 20s. It's just that in their 30s, like we say in Nigeria, they blow. Talk about Piggyvest, it was 32.
Yeah.
And the other people to Joshua Sonto, Paystack, yes, a bit holder, 30, 40, Flutterwave 40. Because I'm looking at the statistics, MoneyPoint 40, Kuda 40, and then we have like Cowrywise 32, Carbon, Olodagbajo 48, as at the time they founded it, Lemfield 37, Fair Money, late 30s. Yeah, if you are comparing, let's compare apple to apple. I totally agree where he's going from that. In terms of the capital layout, the bar has been shut up. It has gone higher. You cannot even meet the regulatory, requirements to start a bank now. But in this day and age, are you now looking at the traditional bank? Technology has made people to move on, and that's why you're having fintechs. God knows what they're going to bring in the next 20 years.
Very
you
true.
Understand? It's going to change a whole lot of things. And when we're talking about the creatives, if you're talking in the media space now, you'll find out that a whole lot of media personnel that were in their 20s, in their 30s, they never knew, except those that had, a futuristic view, that, you don't even have to have to go online. You understand? you must, for you to have your content, you must have a station. You must have either a radio station, or you must have, a TV station. But look at what technology has brought. In the comfort of your room, you can start your podcast. You can even do your own broadcast and have people following you, and they are making money. You understand? It is because technology has advanced. But like I said, I understand where it's going is going. You understand? I understand where it's coming from. I understand where it's going. But at the same time, let's also look at this, that technology has brought a whole lot of new developments, a new lot of innovation into the scene, and it will keep moving. As long as you have youth, new things will keep evolving, will keep evolving, will keep evolving. But I totally agree in terms of capital layout, right? I mean, who at the age of 30, who has money? But I'm also looking at
Yeah.
it at the time when he was 30. How many people then we could have had lots of banks as at that time? It was also difficult for some people to raise that. But thank God he had, I've not researched into maybe his family wealth or whatever it is. I don't know. But even right now, even when we talk about the unicorns and all that, Flutterwave and all that, because of the kind of new financing that we have, you now have capital investors, coming in, and they look at it that, okay, the future of this is very good. Let me bring in money,
Yeah.
to invest. Yeah. I just want to come from that dimension that yes, it's good we listen to what he's saying, but at the same time, we also want to look at it that where is the trajectory? Now some banks, some of the traditional banks are even closing down their branches. They are merging. They are
Yeah.
merging, and a whole lot of them have even gone online. How many people have gone into the bank to do transaction? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe to cut a draft or to
Yeah.
do heavy transactions. But for you to transfer money from one person to another person, you don't have to go into the bank anymore. You already have the apps, right? So it's about we having a different mindset into what we're doing. And that is where I want to go. We've had him, it's true, but then can we begin to have a different mindset, towards this? Because technology
Mm.
has brought a whole lot of change, into the system. Yeah. Even,
All right.
and I'll use this to wrap up. Even the so-called 30, because I remember you mentioned the issue of 30-year-old not having money, to have a house, and things
Yeah.
like that. Yes, I totally agree with that because inflation has gone up. In the days of my own father, they said once you graduate, in fact, companies will come, to your university, they will give you employment and all
Yeah.
that. In my own days, it wasn't really like that, but I mean, you could still have access, to that, but it wasn't that. I mean, when I graduated 86, I mean, nobody came to do, well, they came to do film fair, they came to do exhibitions and things like that, but it was different from what my own parents said. I mean, nobody gave me car and all that and all that. I had to go look for a job. It's a bit difficult now, you understand, but other areas are opening up. And that's why you find that the youths are going into the creative society, into the creative industry. And it's not just into the creative industry. I can tell you that they are also going into other areas. We're talking about agri-tech. You understand? We're talking about fintech. We're talking about medicine. A whole lot of things are opening up that the
Mm.
youth are looking into that. And I also want us to look at that as well. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Ibinabo. I hear you. I do. I really do. But if you really, really, I think the Nigerian young people are hardworking. And
It was Buki who was talking, not Ibinabo.
yes, Buki. I really, really do. But I feel like let me allow Ibinabo talk because we're out of time. We don't have time. Maybe we can continue this tomorrow. Ibinabo, go ahead, please.
Okay, I know I'm in your head this morning. People have been in your head, so it's my turn to be in your head.
I feel like we should have just done one. I was trying to do the two because we typically just do one. I was trying to. So now I'm thinking, oh, I should have allowed us spend enough time on the first one and then move this one till tomorrow. But yeah, nothing spoiled. Let's go ahead.
Okay, so you see, when somebody says something, I want to know who is talking,
Yeah,
where is it coming from.
yeah,
I think the side it's not a person who came from one big wealthy family who
Mhm.
inherited largesse, and all of that of money. He worked his way up the ladder. So talking, I want to believe that he knew what he was talking about. And of course, he's also he's a public analyst. He's an economist, and he speaks in all of this, and he's speaking with I believe with data, statistics. He's not just speaking out of place and all of that. I haven't said that. You see, if you look at Nigeria as a whole, you will realize that when things are happening, you don't look at it from a single point. I am going to look at it, which we don't have time for right now. I'm looking at it from the political setting. Because in Nigeria, many young people are being pushed out of competitive opportunities at different levels. We can't deny that. While poor leadership deserves its share of blame, me, Ibinabo, I'm also going to consider the uncomfortable truth, and that is young people are part of the very system that keeps them at a disadvantage. Because you cannot keep shooting yourselves in the foot and think that you're going to walk fast and meet up or close the gaps that is being created by the older generation. Because of the truth, if you look at the people that are in the system now, that are leaders, that are policymakers and all, trace them to yesterday. They started when they were very young. Now, how many young, very young, apart from, we're talking about the tech space. If you look at those who are in the tech spaces, it wasn't like they were given the opportunity like this back. They struggled, they pushed, they broke walls, they shattered ceilings, even no opportunities. So the point here, I feel, that is being put across is that why can't the leadership of this country at various levels, whether private or public, give, open windows for the youth to thrive? Because the opportunities are not really there. Nigerians are very resilient, from the oldest person to the youngest child in Nigeria. There's a sense of resilience in every Nigerian, at least most Nigerians. So even when there are no opportunities, you are looking at people that are trying to create opportunities for themselves. But I think that the angle I'm going to look at this is from the angle of our political leaders who are making policies, the policymakers, that what are the policies in place to create an enabling environment for the youth to thrive? If policies are there, how much are you implementing this policy? Because we're going to Nigeria's constitution, and if every aspect of the constitution is being observed, Nigeria will be a better place to live in.
Very true.
But most people do not even know what is obtainable in the constitution, in the laws of Nigeria. No, many people don't even know. They don't have an understanding. So there are spaces for the youth of Nigeria to thrive. How are they seizing the opportunity? They don't know. Because what we see is that politicians, now we are getting close to the time of campaign and all of that. And you don't see politicians calling out the oldies to come and run for them. They call out the youths. And if you allow yourself to be used by politicians who will get into the offices and begin to create policies that will not enable you to thrive in your country, that you would now want to run to another place to come and become a second-class citizen. It is not fair. Honestly, I'm just trying to rush things because I have a head, and I feel that if you can have a few minutes tomorrow, then we can.
I agree.
Sure I have a lot to say too as a young person. And as an older person, as a parent, I have a lot to say. As a person who has been in the business of employment, I've been an employee, so I have an understanding of some of these things, and I know that we need to give the Nigerian youth a bit more space to expand. If I will take one last example, and that is our politicians. Now we all have our candidates for various parties, for governorship or candidates and their deputies and all of that. if you look at all of these people, how many of the deputies are below 30 years? How many of these deputies are around 30, 33? Because if you truly, there's something that came up during the last president, that is President Muhammadu Buhari, late President Muhammadu Buhari. You know, we talked about the young shall rule, something about the youth and everything.
Not too young to rule.
Thank you. Now, if you bring together all the candidates of various parties, all the major political parties, how many can you pick out to say that these ones represent a candidate that speaks to the not too young to rule policy?
Policy or initiative, yeah. Oh, we've run out of time. I think we'll continue tomorrow because I think what both of you are very, very correct in it in terms of with Ibidaba, there is no level playing ground. With Buki, look, everything is available for you. But so would find a way. This is not a you are correct, you are wrong. It's just that from the different perspectives we have, again, as a young person, you cannot be down on yourself and say, oh, there's nothing. There's always a way out of it. Right. So yeah, tomorrow would listen more to the ladies and have young people's myself and Nima our perspective on things because this matter is elections are upon us 2027, and as we're speaking now, there's nobody in their 30s or 40s who's vying for presidency, who's vying for governorship. There is not even a woman. Nima has said we should give her till 2039 so we can vote for her. But right now, in the year 2027, there's nobody, and it's alarming. It's cause for alarm, and we all really need to look inward and talk about. Maybe Buki can also give us more perspective about the Citadel School of Governance and how young people can go to that school, get educated, get armed with knowledge, and you can plug yourself in this sort of in governance, basically, at the end of the day. All right, ladies, thank you so much for coming on the program today. Tomorrow, 9:05, we continue this conversation.